Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. How is everyone?
Wonderful. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm trying to get my computer to load. I changed locations. All right, we got some people still coming in, so I'm gonna let them come in. And welcome to everybody. I hope y'all had a great Friday. We got one phone dial person. Welcome. All right, so for the VIP people, you can put either your phone number in the chat or your address so we can send your food to you. For everybody that has VIP, they get lunch or dinner, whatever time it is in your time zone. Just put your phone number or your address and I can send that to you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got about half of the people in here, so that's good. You should expect probably about 20% of people to actually show up when they pay for classes like this. So y'all did a great job. A round of applause for y'all. I'm going to start off by showing y'all the Airbnb update because there actually was an update that happened about 7 days ago now. So a full week ago was the update. So I'm going to start off by showing y'all basically what they changed. And Airbnb has a whole new feel for what they want their hosts to do and what they're looking for and what they actually push out. Kind of how Instagram or TikTok changes their algorithm. Airbnb just changed a whole lot of stuff. So this will actually help y'all be able to monetize your Airbnb a lot more than however much you were going to put it up for. Because I'm pretty sure everybody in this call have either spoken real life about Airbnb too, or I know that they're interested in having a property or co-hosting, which is what I do. So we're going to watch the video real quick and then we're going to talk about it after that.
Millions of people are now more flexible about where they live and work, and they're spreading out to thousands of
Can y'all hear this? Let me mute myself.
towns and cities, and they're staying for weeks, months, or even entire seasons at a time. A new world of travel has emerged, and just like millions of other people, I don't have to be back in office 5 days a week. And so Sophie and I hit the road, and we saw a lot of cool stuff. But it was really clear that this is just the tip of the iceberg, because there's this whole world of Airbnb, millions of unique homes just waiting to be discovered. And we thought this was a perfect time to create a new Airbnb for this new world of travel. And so we've created the biggest change to Airbnb in a decade, introducing the Airbnb 2022 summer release. And it starts with Airbnb categories. For 25 years, the way you search for travel online has been the same. There's a big box, it's a search box, and ask you a question, where are you going? And so the first problem is you have to actually think of a place to go. We could show you places that you would never have thought to search for. So that's why we've created a whole new design built around Airbnb categories. Let me show you. So the first thing you'll notice when you open the new Airbnb app are all these incredible categories. Airbnb categories are collections of homes organized by what makes them unique. You can search by what kind of trip you want to experience. Let's say you're like with your family and you've been stuck in the city for a while and you want to get out. We now have a camping category or a countryside category. And if you really want to get out of town, there's even the Arctic. Or if you want to go to the desert, we have incredible desert homes. Look at this place in Pioneer Town. Now, most people wouldn't think to type in Pioneer Town, but you can discover these incredible homes here. We have a world of castles. We don't just have castles, we have a lot of them. Design is probably my favorite category. These are over 20,000 homes that have been selected because they're either from notable architects like Frank Lloyd Wright, or they've been in like cool design or architecture magazines. Or one of my favorite categories, OMG. We were trying to think of a name for this category, and the name OMG kind of like really summed it up, because you have properties where you're just like, I can't believe that even exists, including this yellow submarine in the middle of the woods in New Zealand. And so categories allow you to search by whatever your passion is, whatever you're interested in. And it could lead you to a whole world of possibilities in towns you would have never known to search for. But categories also work when you're searching for a location. And this is something I'm really excited to show you. So let's say we want to go to France. So I go to France here and I search. And we have all the results here in all homes. But now you'll see at the top, we have categories. Categories like historical homes. Now each of these categories are specific to a location. Like there's historical homes in France, or vineyards. I mean, a lot of people love going wine tasting in France, but there's some things in France you probably didn't know about, like surfing. There's now a surfing category in France. There is literally a category for everyone. We've created a way for you to have even more options when you're looking for longer stays. It's a new feature that we call split stays. Now, split stays shows up whenever you're searching for a stay of longer than a week. It splits your trip between two different homes. So let me show you. So I want to go to France for a month this summer, and I'm going to bring Sophie with me, obviously. And I'm going to go down here, and you'll see some split stays. Now, split stays is our opportunity to create a little itinerary of two homes back to back, and it pairs the right two homes together. So you can have a longer stay, or you can try two different homes. So split stays are cool because you can also use them with Airbnb categories. So let's say there's a category you're interested in. I love national parks. So I'm gonna go to national parks. And here it is. Split your time between Joshua Tree and Zion. So now Sophie and I can stay in 2 national parks. A lot of people really haven't left their house much for 2 years. And this summer is gonna be the first time that a lot of people step outside their world and go somewhere else. And we want them to feel like we've got their back when they do that. And so we are creating Air Cover for Guests, the most comprehensive set of free protections in travel. Air Cover is always included and always free and comes with these protections. Booking protection guarantee. For the unlikely event a host cancels your booking within a month of arrival. Check-in guarantee. If for some reason you can't get into your Airbnb. And a get what you booked guarantee. If your Airbnb is not as advertised, for instance the AC is broken or there are fewer bedrooms than advertised. Now in all 3 cases, we'll find you a similar or better home or we'll refund you. And Air Cover also provides a 24-hour safety line. So if you ever feel unsafe, you get priority access to specially trained agents. And Air Cover is completely unmatched in the travel industry. There is literally no other product like this. So that is the Airbnb 2022 summer release. With a new way to search, designed around Airbnb categories, split stays, and Air Cover for Guests. Sophie. When I was staying in these different homes and having the experience that a guest in Airbnb would have, I had this sense of wonder and curiosity. And we wanted you to be able to experience this whole world of possibilities as well. And what our new product is able to do is open that world. I'm so excited about what we've made, but I'm even more excited for you to try it out.
All right, so that was the creator of Airbnb, and he actually made that video to explain the update that happened last week. So the main things that happened in that update, as you can see in that little last part, for one, themed Airbnbs are going up. So if your Airbnb is not themed or at least monochromatic, we're losing money. So right now, as he just stated, people are kind of using Airbnb as a search engine instead of like, for me, I live in Richmond, Virginia. I normally think people on Airbnb are typing in Richmond, Virginia, but people are actually typing in stays. So now we need to theme out everything. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Were y'all actually able to hear that video or no?
Yes, I heard it.
Okay, perfect.
As well. And what our new product is able to do is open
We'll
that
go
world.
back to this little
Release.
recap.
There's literally no other product like
And this is another main thing
in the travel
is
industry.
the Airbnb cover. So normally when you do Airbnb before, they could cancel whenever they wanted, but now you can actually add onto your bookings a strict no cancellation policy or no refund policy. And with that, it's going to be very good for you because people do scam on Airbnb and we just don't want to be liable for that. So this actually covers everything for you and for the actual person that's going to be staying in your unit. I know a lot of you go outside of Airbnb, so there's also VRBO, there's also booking.com, and we're going to go over all of that. But Airbnb is actually updating itself. So we need to be cognizant of that because when they update, everybody else is going to update because they're number one. But just be on the lookout that special stays get you more money. All right. I actually won't go into presentation mode on the video. All right, so this is our class. For all of our classes in the future, when you get stuff like this, when you click right here, you'll be able to access the Zoom. I did send the Zoom to some people, but just check right here and you'll be able to check your master classes. And before we end, I'm going to show you, because I know we have some people that do live here, and one person I'm actually co-hosting their unit. So I'm going to show you how we just make ours run smoothly. So for one, we have our Airbnb checklist, and this is for everybody between, I know there's co-hosts in here, there's some people doing experiences, and I know there's some people that actually do own their own units. But I wanted to start off with the checklist, and then after this, we're gonna go into like the LLCs and everything about that part. But just, I know a lot of people look for these big checklists. And these are detailed. We did our Airbnb live for 30 days before it ended up getting shut down, which is why we're doing this class, because we don't want anybody else's to get shut down or anything like that. But just make sure that in your bedroom, you do want to make sure you cover stuff as much as possible, keeping in mind that these people, you don't know where they're coming from. They can have pets, they can have literally anything. And now y'all see there's this new topical virus called monkeypox that's out. So just make sure that you cover everything. So if you're having your pillowcases, cover them with a pillowcase protectant, cover your mattress with a mattress protector, just things like that, because you don't know where these people are coming from. Think about a hotel room and then times it by 2. So in a hotel room standard, even if you're staying in a motel, they normally do have those locked safes. So if you don't have that safe, consider getting one. You can find them on Amazon. Definitely make sure in your bathroom, there's an option for on Airbnb if you provide all amenities, and that includes shampoo, conditioner, and things to wash your body with. So if you want, we actually have someone on this call who creates all of those things for Airbnb. I can give y'all her contact when we are done with this, but just make sure that you're choosing something that's either non-hypoallergenic or a fresh and clean smell, because a lot of people will break out from using your products. And then that's why I'm going into the LLC and things of that nature, so they don't sue you, or hopefully they don't sue anybody. We're going to use the products that are just not going to break anybody's skin out. But just be aware of that if you're buying in bulk. Even people have complaints about Dove. So just keep that in mind. Let me just double check before we go further that nobody's in the waiting room. And check our questions. Awesome. And I can't turn the waiting room off, so hopefully nobody came in when I was not paying attention. All right. So yes, that's the main thing to make sure in the bathroom category, that if you are saying that you have amenities, that you have all of the amenities. And make sure that even if the person says one guest, because we're going to go into charging for multiple guests, just keep at least 4 sets of towels. And that's for the standard family. Keep 4 sets of washcloths or rags, towels, and then the face towels. That's standard for a hotel. So make sure that you have all these things on your checklist, because if you don't, people can actually say that you're telling something that's not true. And we don't want that, because they're saying that they're taking away Superhost, but I think it's being called Pro Host now. But either way, there's a top tier person for stays, and we want to be that. In the common room, a lot of things that people forget is like games and books and stuff like that. A lot of people, I know we have some people on this call from Alabama. I don't know what the heck is in Alabama. It's probably something, but if I'm staying there, especially for work, I'm probably not doing a whole lot. So having the games, books, movies, and stuff like that, just keep in mind that those are very important that get forgotten in the common room. And we're also going to go over welcome packets. I created a welcome packet for all of the units that we have. And that just helps the guests while they're there, because most of the time they don't know where they are, figure out where they are, where the actual address is, some house rules, things that are around there, and stuff of that nature. And in the kitchen, you have to keep in mind that if you're going to have a kitchen, you need to have everything in there, including like salt, pepper, the dishwasher pods so that the dishes can be washed, a set of mop and broom, stuff of that if I were to mess up somebody's kitchen, we would need this stuff. And you have to keep common stuff to cook spaghetti. If you think spaghetti in your brain, you'll have pretty much everything. So that's like the knives, making sure that you have a colander, stuff like that'll be very quick to cook if you went out somewhere. And I always think people are cooking noodles when they go somewhere far. So make sure that you have everything inside of your kitchen. And then we have these extras. It is still COVID. And as I just said, there is something new on the rise, and we are a travel agency, essentially. We're helping people stay somewhere that's far. So make sure you have that hand sanitizer, those masks. If you want to be really extra, have feminine products. I know most of us on this call are women, but those feminine products is something that's extra, like, ooh, I was on vacation. I did not know that this was coming and they helped me out. I'll write you a 5-star review. And if you are accepting pets, which we'll go over in a minute later, pets, if you're keeping them, make sure that they have a water bowl. You do not want these people putting a bowl that you bought on the ground and having their dog lick out of it and you didn't know that. So just make sure that if you do allow pets, keep a water bowl and a food bowl. Even if you don't like dogs or cats or whatever it is yourself, somebody is one time going to bring one and you're not going to know. And they're going to be having their dogs lick out of your regular bowls. And you're going to be mad. Even if you don't stay, it's just kind of not a good thing. And if you have a charger, keep it. There are lock chargers on Amazon so that people don't steal it. If you've ever been to a hospital, some of the hospitals have those chargers that are locked up. But just keep in mind that people do steal stuff. So don't be attached to any of this stuff, but you can charge them for stuff that they steal. So just keep that in mind as well. But I know a lot of people said that they had to go early. So I just wanted to make sure that we hit on this checklist first. All right, so now I'm going into the setup, which is kind of backwards, but going into the setup, we want to make sure that we do have our LLC. Keep in mind that LLCs do not protect you from every single thing, but it's kind of like a buffer. It acts as an airbag in the case of a lawsuit. So if you're somebody and you're going to keep getting Airbnbs and you're going to allow people to stay in your home, I would definitely recommend getting an LLC, because what if you have somebody that's staying and they trip or fall? What if they set your whole house on fire? You don't want to be liable for that. So we're going to go over insurance and making sure that that LLC is there. An EIN number is your employee identification number. Identification, I don't know why I said it like that. That's just telling the government that you're a person out here making money. So if you do set up that EIN, you will have to pay taxes on that money. But if you stick with me, we'll learn how to get pretty much all the stuff back on your tax write-off. So it's going to be okay. But if you do set up an EIN, that is just letting the government know, hey, I'm a person and I'm making money, and this is the way that I'm making money. So you would probably put yours, you could do it under realty or something in the realm of real estate for your EIN number in your LLC. And make sure that your name has something to do with real estate. You don't want to be like, if you have, I don't know, another business where you're doing something else, you want to try to keep this business separate. And your Duns and Bradstreet number is actually your business credit. So when you have your business credit number, that's attached to your social security number, you have a PAYDEX score that can normally associate with your Duns and Bradstreet number, but there are different things that it can associate with. And then want to set up some net 30s accounts, which is stuff like your Home Depot account, your, what's another one? I think even Walmart has one. There's lots of different net 30s, which is giving you 30 days to pay off something that you paid for. So I actually have a list of them, and I know there's some people in here that are in the 800 club that have that book with all of the net 30s in there. But yes, this is going to be important for those people that want to finance things and get as low as possible out of pocket. So just keep in mind, if you just type in net 30s on the internet, there are a lot, but we'll go over it at the end. All right, this is something that's very important when we're going in, looking at the price of our unit and what's around there. There are also people on the call that are looking for experiences also. This is good for the experiences too, to figure out how you should price that based on how people are pricing their units. So if you look here, we have what all of everything means inside of the Airbnb app. There's a base price, which is the regular price per night that you choose. You can always choose your base price going off of any of these apps that we have here, and I put the prices of each of them. They normally take either a percentage out of your pay for telling you how to price, or you can do $19.99, $9.99, or we're going to briefly go over how to choose all of your pricing for free on the internet. For people that have a minimum night stay, there are a lot of different things that you can do with this. So I choose my minimum night stays at 4 days. If they go under 4 days, they can't stay at my place. Sorry, I'm in our pool house, so people are walking. But just make sure that you have a minimum night stay to deter parties. Most of the time, people don't stay for more than 3 days if they're partying, and we don't want them to trash your unit that we just worked very hard to get. So make sure that you do have a minimum night stay of at least 3 days or more, but ours is at 4. So just keep that in mind. For us, we live in a college town. People are partying all the time, trashing units. If you've ever seen on Twitter, you can actually type in, people have dropped floors through from jumping so hard. We want to make sure that's not going to be our unit. So keep a minimum night stay of at least 4 to deter those parties. And we keep a minimum and max price just so you can know what range to keep in, but we're not going to talk too much about that because that's up to you. We have last minute discounts. I don't do that. I do not do that. If they want to do the same day, it should cost more, not less. And then if it's long term, we do discounts. So if you go over a week, we do a discount that is, I think, 10%. And if you go up to a month, it's 15% off. So that's just something to give them a little incentive, because there are people that do stay for travel nurses. There are people that are surveyors. There's lots of jobs that require travel long term that our Airbnb could fulfill. And for those of us that are doing the experiences or co-hosting, it's important to know this information to see how people around you are pricing everything out. And then for people that are doing the weekends, again, those are the people that are staying for 2 and 3 days. Again, up those prices just to deter the partying and things of that nature. Some people will actually DM you or message you and tell you that that's what they're looking to do. If that's something that you can accommodate, you can consider it. Especially because a lot of places do have clubhouses. You can tell them just don't do it inside of the unit, and you can keep a Ring doorbell to keep track of that, which we'll go over later too. And then the final thing that you should look at in prices is your seasonal adjustments. So if you know, like for us again in the college area, people just graduated. There were people booking for a week, but we could have made it like $2,000 for 1 week. And that's on the low end. So just keep in mind what's going around in your area. Summer, always up the prices. Winter, always up the prices. And then when people are going back to school, the prices. When people are graduating, up the prices. 4th of July, anything like that, just keep your prices up. There's no reason to go down. And then I'll show you now, if you do not want to use any of these to pay for it and keep it consistent, I'll show you how to get it for free. Ooh. So we are going to come in here. And this is exactly how you do it. So again, I live in Richmond, Virginia. And we're going to look at the hotels in the area. So keep in mind, a hotel normally has a bed and a bathroom. That's the average hotel. We have Airbnbs. So we have a kitchen. We have normally lobbies if we're inside of an apartment building. And then we have more amenities, especially if we're inside of an apartment building. If we have a house, there's privacy aspects. So we have a lot of things that hotels do not have. So we want to make sure that we're charging more than a hotel. If our value is more than a hotel, we have to be more than a hotel, or it wouldn't make sense for us. It's not fair to us. So looking at Richmond, which is again where my units are, we have to keep in mind that this is Sunday to Monday. So this is over the course of a weekend, what some areas in this field are looking like. So Richmond has above the water and below the water. Above the water tends to be downtown, below the water tends to be other places. So for a downtown this weekend, oh, this is not the weekend, this is excluding the weekend, sorry. We want to look at some weekend prices. Well, let's look into next weekend. So we want to do Friday to Monday. All right, so we just did Friday to Monday. Looking at these prices and look at how that just changed. We were at first Sunday to Monday here at 109. And if we do the weekend, it almost doubles, it more than doubles. Oops, sorry, y'all. So when we do the weekend, that price definitely jumped up. That same hotel that we just looked at that was 109 is now 239 just because it's the weekend. And the same thing goes across the board. The prices jumped up for the same thing. And we should be implementing it too. So like I said, if this regular hotel, let's go ahead and look at it. It's the Hilton, they've got a pool. If you have an apartment or a home that has a pool, charge accordingly. But as you can see here, ooh, this is a pretty much a standard room. They don't have anything special about it. It's a little refrigerator, one bed, a couch, and a love seat, a desk. That's about it. And they're charging $146, $150 a night. So by default, you have to be more than $146, $150 a night. These people are charging $239. So you need to be minimum $250. Do you see what I'm saying? This is how you can choose your prices for free without using that software, but just know what's going around in the area and what's happening that week for you. I'm gonna give a little pause. Do you have any questions about pricing or need help with pricing in that area? Any experience people don't know how to price? All right. So yeah, just make sure that you go on Google, figure out what prices are going on in your area, and you'll be good to go if you don't want to use any of these, because 1% of your monthly revenue can add up if you're making $5,000. Just keep that in mind. So this is a little bit of your homework since we're halfway through. You can go here and figure out some things on Airbnb. It's a pretty big PDF, so if it doesn't load, you can do it on your own. But this will actually show you everything in deep detail. I really want it to load. Oh, here we go. This is a hosting toolkit. And this will tell you the backstory of Airbnb. And this has a lot of information about the update that we went over when you first came in. And this just tells you some lingo on Airbnb. Again, going over the superhost co-hosting, which I do. And we'll be covering at the end why co-hosts are important for people that want to make more money or just use Airbnb as a passive income. It's very important to have a co-host. But yeah, y'all can go through this. It's less than 200 pages, but it's good information. For those of us that did choose VIP, you have the option to go into the private Facebook group, and that will be your support system for just your Airbnb growth. If you didn't get VIP, but you want to get in the Facebook group, just let me know and I'll add y'all in. We'll figure something out for that. So this is the tea, the sauce, the everything of Airbnb and how you can figure out how to do it without being there 24/7. For me, I'm a co-host, so I do live on the property where the Airbnbs are, but that's not the case for everybody. So sometimes you need to just figure out what you can do if you're not going to be there all the time, and this is that part. So going into it, we have Uplisting, Hospitable, and Lodgify. These are the connectors. This will connect your Airbnb to Booking.com and your Booking.com to VRBO and get your stuff on Google Vacation Rentals and Expedia, everything that will just put you out there to make you the most money possible. This is that. So for uplisting, if you have 5 listings, it's going to be $100 a month, and they'll connect your Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, and your Google Rentals. And they have pretty much a virtual way to put everything all together. So your channel manager, getting your inboxes all together from all 4 platforms and making sure that you get your deposits. You can do your rental agreements through here, which for some of you, I know when you have the apartments, you need a background check. So you can do your background check through Uplisting, and we'll go over that as well, how I do my background checks. And then for Hospitable, it's pretty much all the same thing. 5 listings for them is $50 though. And they only have Airbnb, Booking.com, and VRBO, but for some people that may be good enough. But for the people that need the Google Rental Vacations, which is that website that we just went on to look for the hotels, they're saying that yours will pop up there as well. And then Lodgify, it's $48 per month. You can do as many as you need to go with this. This is their ultimate biggest package. They have cheaper options as well, but this is their biggest package, and they pretty much have all the same thing. But you can do your cleaning and your task management through Lodgify, and they also have an accounting software. So for those of us that have more than 1 unit and want to keep everything straight, I recommend Lodgify or Guestify. I didn't put that on this list, but Lodgify is a great option for people that have more than 1 unit, or this is their second thing. This is not really their main thing, just to keep everything straight, because that accounting aspect is very important. And the Lodgify has a guest app for them. So for those of us that don't want to do that welcome book, that's good for them. So are there any questions about management systems? Am I talking too fast or too low? Oh,
What do you currently use?
Currently, Guestify. That's not
Guestify.
actually on the list, but Guestify is a good one. But I put Lodgify up there because it's better price. I'm thinking about switching to that one for everybody else that I'm doing, and only because they have Expedia, which a lot of people do use that travel, and VRBO is also with HomeAway, but this is the only one that directly put that they use.
Okay.
Yes, and sorry for the person I had waiting in the waiting room. So far, we've only gone over the updates for Airbnb because Airbnb did update 7 days ago. They're now looking at people that are a little more different in their themes. We haven't really gone over what that means yet, but we did watch a video, so I'll put that in the chat for you. We also so far went over pricing. We have a few pricing elements that you can look at, but the main thing that I just showed a demonstration on how to find your prices in your area using just the hotels, and knowing that you should be more than a hotel because we have a kitchen. Honestly, that kitchen bumps up hotels ×3 because most hotels do not have a kitchen. And we just went over the different management systems to link all of your Airbnb and short-term rental apps together. So if you have any questions, feel free to jump in, but we're going to go to the next slide. In addition to pricing, there's market research. So there's little things about your area that you may not know that could make your pricing skyrocket. So for example, I know I have a lot of people on this call that are in the Richmond area. I have a unit in the Deco, a couple of units that I'm co-hosting in the Deco. That is the highest building in Richmond. 2, it was made in the 1800s. 3, it was a bank that got turned into an apartment building. So that makes it historic. And again, as I said before, they're shifting Airbnb a little bit. And I'll actually go ahead and show that since we do have that new person on here. So if you look up here, this is what Airbnb is pushing now. So if you have a house that is design or aesthetically pleasing, they're pushing you. If you have Arctic or cold, they're pushing you. So again, that market research, knowing what's around there, like this little weird blue house is not that cool, but because it's in the cold, it is that cool. If it's a shared home, they're pushing you. So if you have just a bedroom that you want to rent out, they'll go ahead and push that for you. If you have a tree house, bed and breakfast, camping, and then again, how I said historic, we have that up here. If you have a pool, go ahead and add that. For my mansion people, since I know we do have that one, go ahead and add that. And this is what I was speaking of before, to add for those people that are in deco. Hello. Technical difficulties, sorry y'all. For those people that are in deco, add it to the historic homes. And do you see how much it skyrocketed due to it being a historic home? Granted, these are mansions for some of them, but just for it being a part of history and something that people can brag on, there are people playing for something that people can brag on, the prices skyrocket. So keep that in mind for your unit and whatever it is that you do. I might have to move out of here because these kids are really playing through. Let me double check the chat. Okay. But yes, just think about how your unit is different from everybody else, and then just look at what is available. If your unit is next to a golf course or within a mile of a golf course, add that up there. If you have the kitchen of all kitchens, look at some of these kitchens, add that up there. Like this kitchen isn't even all that cute or special.
So, okay, so because that threw me off before Airbnb changed all of this new settings, I was getting a lot of bookings. Like it was crazy how it increased for the summertime. And then they rolled this out and I'm noticing a slowdown in my inquiries and bookings. However, I am literally like right across the street, like 1 block away from the beach. So it's safe to say that I could just fall into like a beach category or something if they have that, even though I'm not directly on the water.
Yes, definitely use the beach one. You couldn't use this beach front, but you could use something else. Let's look through here to figure out what we can do for that. And there's also things like Pier Space where they do book out a little longer, but with this Airbnb rollout, like you said, everything changed. So we just have to figure out how we can change with it instead of, and my boyfriend who also did Airbnb is here with me. I don't know why he's telling me what to tell y'all.
Yeah, so also on the platform, on Airbnb platform, if you're not getting as much bookings as you want to, don't get discouraged because it's not always going to be 100% booked up on the platform. So that's why you could go ahead and utilize other platforms like Peerspace, VRBO, to just fill in the spots that's not getting booked on Airbnb. So you could make it 100% booking rate.
Yeah, but 75 to 80% occupancy is normal, but you can use this beach one. Don't do the beach front one, do this beach one. Because if you look at these people, their prices are pretty out there and they're not, they don't have to be directly on the beach. Like this person is Virginia Beach, Virginia. And this is the timeshare unit.
Okay. Okay, so perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
No problem. But yes, for everybody else, just look at this list up here and figure out what it is you could do. And just keep in mind that being creative will make you more money. Like, just keep that in mind. Like this one is in Norfolk, and I can tell that it's not directly on the beach.
That's literally right down the street from mine.
Yes, All right, so perfect. There's this 131 a night. I would keep our competitive pricing and be more than them and just add more amenities. And we'll go into that later. And I'll actually add our Instagram in the chat. We just put a list of every booking platform. Let me just go ahead and add that now. Not every booking platform, but some top ones. Yes, there's our Instagram, and this one right here. Oh, where's the post where I put all
You can't see me.
platforms?
I've been a
Did that not post? Okay, well then I'll post that later. Sorry, y'all. I thought I posted it. I guess I made it and didn't post it. That's disappointing. But there's some more tips in here also. Oops, sorry. Going back into here though, like we said, our market research, just knowing what's around there. Yesterday we took a little walk around our area. We found a whole lake. So we looked around the lake. They have mansions over there that are for rent and for sale. So everybody over there can use that lake view. And it was just so cool. So you can use the AirDNA to find that information if you don't live in that area. You can use Rank Breeze as well. They do cost, or you can just go on Google, figure out what's in the area. So I actually wanted to show y'all for those of us that are in the Richmond area.
So I have a quick question. The lake view that you were just referring to, was that for the current or for the deco?
So that's actually for units that are in Chesterfield.
Oh,
yes. But for the deco, that's what I'm about to show right now. Which one are you? Do you have current or deco?
I have the current.
Okay, so I'll go over some of the current things too, because the current is actually really close to the canal walk. So that counts as a waterfront view. Let me grab this. So for those of you that are at the deco, when you go into amenities, no. Maybe directions, sorry. Okay, yeah, so when you go into directions on the deco, it'll actually show you what's in the area. So you have your shops and service, your nightlife, your recreation, professional, education, everything like this. You can figure out exactly what is in your area and how you can upsell. For the deco, the thing that's important to know, this spot right here that's empty is the Richmond Convention Center. So y'all are this close, a block not even away from the Richmond Convention Center, price accordingly. Also for those that are in Richmond period, just for reference, the current is right here. And this is the James River. So you have all of this to upsell on. The James River is right there. There's also in this area, VCU is right here in this area. And they have campus in this area. Where you see Union Hill, that's where Virginia Union is. So keeping in mind that those college students are right there. Also on the same street from the deco and less than 10 minutes away from the current. I know everybody else that doesn't live in the area is like, Dara, what are you talking about? But a lot of people on this call do live in this area. Here's the actual VCU campus, and then further down is the Diamond Stadium. So those are good for, oh, no, that's the City Stadium. There's also the Diamond coming up this way, which is baseball. So there it is. Baseball is all over here. So the tourists come in during the summertime, keep those prices up, stay on those weekends, and definitely jack that up because they will be coming. And then if you look right here, we have the museum district, which is on the same little street. And we have the Children's Museum, the History Museum, Fine Arts Museum, and some of these things are free, so they won't mind paying more to stay if they can be closer to the free fun. So just look over here to figure out where your food options are, nightlife options are, and upsell accordingly. But again, for those that are far and aren't really familiar, the Deco is above the James River and the Current is below in Manchester. So it's actually technically not like downtown Richmond, but literally this bridge is the only thing that separates it. And the Current is on Commerce Street, which is right around here. So it's about an 8-minute drive to downtown. But if you do live literally anywhere else, do the same thing. Just type in where you live at. Food near me, use Yelp. Yelp is great for stuff like that, but there is a lot of stuff to do in the area that we stay in just because there are lots of colleges, and there are also colleges over here as well. There's Richmond University. And then down here, there's 2, 3, 4 colleges in Petersburg. So this area is great if you're looking for Airbnb. But yeah, so just do your market research, know what's around there. I would never, ever, ever go under 150 if you live in Richmond, just because those colleges are there. You can't beat it. Going in a little further, deeper, if you do have VIP, you have access to these. If not, I would recommend either screenshot it, I don't really care, or take your notes. This is the real tea of why people do Airbnb classes, to know what software other people use and how they're doing with that. So again, I deter parties. I told you I live in a college area. Don't want that. I really do not want that. So keeping the noise aware, you can type this in. They have the device that costs $100 and $15 a month. If the noise level goes above what you set it, and they have the same thing for the temperature, everything like that. Through Noise Aware, you can figure out what's going on inside of your unit. We also have the August app. I know that if you are in the Deco Current Club, you definitely know about the August app. It's literally a circle that you put on the back of the locks and it'll unlock the door for you. It works with Alexa. So down here, you see, I did recommend a lot of Amazon Alexa products because just keeping everything consistent. If you are a Google person, Android Club, go ahead and use the Google Assistant version. But I would recommend Alexa just because it can be compatible with everything. And y'all could buy all of this stuff and pay all of this off with one rental. So even if you're not ready to get this now, by the next month, you should be able to have all of this. That thermostat, smart thermostat, the smart thermostat is how you can control the thermostat from home. So this will give you the detection of what it is, but this is how you can control it. And that's under $60, especially for those of you that are in houses and are not renting out like an apartment building. And I'll go over why I choose apartments over houses in a minute. But if you're in a house, you can go ahead and install this. I recommend the Ring doorbell. This Ring doorbell has this installation mount right here. So all of this, you can go ahead and copy and paste it right into Amazon and it'll be right there. But if you do get a Ring doorbell, get this mount, unless it is your house, so that you're not messing up anything. And the mount will actually connect to the back of the door so that nobody can take it from the outside. So yes, definitely get these things. And that this Ring doorbell, you would think, I really don't care, give them people their privacy, da, 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 da. But for us, we charge per person that comes into the unit. So if you're telling me that it's only one of you or two of you, and I see 8 people come in, I can charge you because you did sign off on my rules, for one. And for 2, I saw you, I have the video. So there's that. And if you have, I have an actual Amazon Alexa that has a camera on it that has a clock. You can leave that on the inside of the unit and just make your people aware that it's there. Don't put it in a bedroom or a bathroom or anything like that. Maybe the kitchen or living room. And that's another way that you can keep track of your unit from the inside. And you can, of course, do cameras or anything like that. A lot of people do. But again, the no-go zones are the bedrooms and the bathrooms. Don't put any cameras there. And if you do put cameras in your unit, you have to disclose that. So is there any questions on any more software So far, we've gone over the pricing, our market research, management, and we went over a little bit about the updates. Let me double check the chat. All good, all good. All right. So moving along, the cleaning. So the cleaning and everything like that, any other programs that we did not go over, this is what we'll talk about now. So cleaning, you can use turnover Airbnb or turnover B&B. That's free for your first property. So all of us that are testing out the first property for the first time, turnover B&B is where you can find people in your area that will go ahead and clean up to Airbnb standards. And I would never take that cleaning fee out of your pocket. Don't take that money that you got from your booking and put it towards cleaning. Charge those people a cleaning fee and don't clean that yourself. Don't think I'm trying to save money. Let me go clean this. No, people do that and you're taking money out of other people's pockets. So charge those people to get their area clean and never do that by yourself. Just choose one of these people to do it for you. They literally have spent their life dedicated to cleaning Airbnbs. Just get it done and pay somebody because they'll pay you to clean it. Like for all of ours, we charge a $160 cleaning fee. So if we choose somebody that's $150 or less, we can pocket that money, but don't put on your gloves and go clean that unit. That is nasty. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not doing that. TaskRabbit has a transaction fee. That's the little app on your phone. You can find cleaners, Airtasker. These are not dedicated to Airbnb, but for those of us that, again, don't live here, use Airtaskers and TaskRabbit because those people can build your furniture out. Those people can deliver things. Those people have so many jobs up there. And I also use Thumbnail. Thumbnail's the one that I use. I don't know why I didn't actually put the ones that I've used in there, but Thumbnail is a great one. And we'll go into Facebook because Facebook is how I made a lot of my money. And some of y'all actually came into this class off of Facebook because I pushed it there pretty heavy. But I'll show y'all that don't live in Richmond where I go for my Airbnb knowledge. And this is the real tea, like what made this class worth it, in my opinion, knowing this type of information. So if you look here, there's actually Richmond rentals, apartments, housing, rooms, sublets, and roommates. So if you're really ever down bad, you can't find a single booking, there's one of these for every city, every area. So all these people are like looking for houses to rent. They're literally begging they have $1,000 move-in budget. If you want to work with these people, go ahead and do that. Another thing that's a group on here is they have our Airbnb Virginia. Join for whatever state you're in. Know the laws. It's really not cool to get shut down. Like we said, we did ours for 30 days. It got shut down due to the actual property. They didn't allow Airbnb there and we were doing it. So just be cognizant of what the rules are. I'm trying to get, there's an Airbnb RVA and they have a lot of cleaners in there. Oh, there we go. So you can go into groups like this and literally the first thing, cleaners. All these people are cleaners. And if you can't find one, you're like, girl, I'm not scrolling through all of that. Clean. Just type in clean. All these people. I'm offering services, da, 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 da. And if you need a co-host in this area, that's not me, even though you should use me because, you know, I'm literally the best. But I'm just joking, but I'm really not. You can find co-hosts in here too. Just make sure that you have somebody that's actually done Airbnb before. You don't want to really be trialing with other people. But Facebook is great for all of that. And you can find all these Facebook groups. I'll show y'all a little bit deeper. There's Airbnb for beginners here, where they give you a lot of tips, a lot. You can see what other people are doing that are new to the space as well. So just check, literally type in Airbnb and then type groups on Facebook and you can find a lot of stuff. And this is a part I would definitely screenshot if you are on a device that is capable of it. This is a great first general message to get to your customers and will help you figure out what you need to put. I wouldn't put this whole thing in one message, but just put it into your automated messages so that you have all these options. It actually just welcomes them to the city. This part tells them about the lockbox on their door. For non-emergencies, it gives their cell phone number, Wi-Fi details, and then recommendations. So I would make all of these separate as automated responses on your Airbnb app. And that is right here. So when you press these three bars, there's quick replies, and you can go in and put, if they say guest access, you can quickly reply to all of this stuff. And then we have one for going into the scheduled messages. So we have to have background checks for ours. So as soon as they actually book it, it'll say that a background check is required, and it takes them to the actual background check, tells them to ask questions. And when they book, it says, I can't wait to host your stay. If you have any questions or concerns, just hit me up. Paraphrase. I wasn't reading, just paraphrasing. But I'll also show y'all how to do that background check. I sell background check forms, but if it's necessary, it is pretty easy to do. So I have mine in a short-term rental form. So everybody that signs up, no, I don't want you. Okay, thanks. Oops, I don't want to show y'all that. Sorry, y'all. Press the wrong button. All right, so this is how our background check comes up. We have it through those of you that are Deco and Current. This is for Rodrika, and hers has her Harmon Home Solutions up there. And again, we just keep telling people that this is mandatory because we are asking people for their IDs and their social security numbers. And a lot of people are like, girl, I'm just trying to stay in an Airbnb. I don't want to give you all this information, but I'd rather have it than not have it. I'm gonna ask their renter's name for their ID, front and back, their social security number, their email address, phone number, current home address, time frame lived in, previous address, reason they left. Because for people that can't pay, we really don't want them in our apartment because how did you get there? Just keep in mind that this part is important. Read over that. And some people do get evicted, so just look at that. We're asking them to put in what time they're coming in because for us, we only give them a 9 to 4 o'clock window. I personally, as a co-host, I'm available to do it, but I really don't want people to be coming in at like 11 o'clock. And some people do want to greet their people in person. I'm not coming. So we put a time there just in case they get locked out or have any questions. But if they do go outside of that time frame, we can literally charge them for anything. And if your people come outside of the time frame that you have available and you need me to go and you're not living in the area, I'll be happy to go. But again, I do charge for a lot of things. We ask for the departure time just because if they put it, then we have both on Airbnb, VRBO, whatever platform they're using, and in our job form that they said that they'll leave at this time. Look into squatter rights. If you type it on YouTube, Airbnb squatters, it happens all the time, especially in New York and Virginia. Those laws are legal. That if they stay there for more than 30 days, that is their legal habitant home. And if they're getting mail there. So if people are asking you to deliver stuff, make sure that they sign this form. Just seriously, tonight type in Airbnb squatters. People do not leave people's Airbnbs, and people will come home and everything especially people that are renting out their home. And there was one lady, she had to stay with her people, I want to say for like 3 months. They were just sitting there taking her food, doing a lot of crazy stuff. So make sure that you have what day they're departing, several places. Have the reason for the stay there, again, to deter parties. I'm a partier. I'm 21 years old. To tell y'all the truth, I'm 21 years old. I party as much as the next girl. But I tell people when I am partying in their Airbnbs, because after that happened one time, I had people actually come home early while we were still there. It was just a fit. It was a hot mess. So ask those people why they're staying and work with those people that are partying. If you want to allow them to do that, charge them at least $80 because you know you're gonna have to clean a little bit more. But again, we're not cleaning. We're not cleaning. They will be, but still. Ask how many guests and make sure that this number of guests includes the people that they'll have come over. Don't charge people that stay over. If you look on the air doorbell and those people leave before 12 o'clock, don't charge them. But if they're not leaving, you have the right to charge them. That's one thing with the update, to make sure that they had the number of guests up there. Airbnb actually pushes you to let them have as many people as they want for free. I'd rather not. Then just make sure that everything that they provided was correct and have them sign. If you need a job form done, I do have that on my Gumroad. Most of y'all clicked on the Gumroad in order to get in here, but I'll add that in the chat at the end. I don't want to open that right now because y'all will see my whole back end, but we do have a class available for that as well. If you want to either make your own or get yours made, we can do that. I only charge $50 for that, which is not that bad because y'all are making more than that a night. So yes, and then I have the offer for y'all to join the inner circle. We go over everything, literally everything, every single thing that's on this list. We go over in our inner circle, and that's a part of the Facebook group and a part of our Telegram. So I would consider joining. And then you can use that code right there. It's called Power, and you can get that discount because it's normally $4,000, but we made it $1,000 for everybody that took this class. And we go over Toro in there too. Actually, the person that's above me, he has an exotic car rental business. So if y'all want to expand beyond and different types of rentals, we can get into that. But yes, the back end work is what makes this worth it. People pay millions of dollars for back end, so I would recommend it. But if you don't want to use me for your extended Airbnb help and everything like that, we have an alternative, which is Hostfully. And Hostfully trains you on how to use Airbnb, and they're a program just like everything else. And they charge $150 an hour for your technical development and $100 an hour for your project management. So that goes into pretty much like setting up your rental, finding furniture, things like that. If you don't want, that's pretty much what a co-host does, what I get paid to do. But again, if you don't want to use me, there are people on the internet that'll do it virtually for you for cheaper. Well, actually, I don't even think it's cheaper. I'm pretty sure I'm cheaper than these people. Yeah. So if y'all have any questions, that was pretty much the part of the class that I had planned out, but then everything else I was just going to show y'all what we use and just talk about themes for a little bit. But that was everything that I had for that presentation, because I know we went over 9 minutes. You have any questions before I show y'all a little bit more?
So should we charge more like when there's races in Richmond, or should we charge less?
More, definitely more. So if you think about, for example, when we go to seminars and stuff, and we look at hotels in that area, those hotels skyrocket because they know it's a cheer fest, it's a conference, it's a this, it's a that. We are just like hotels. We are mini hotels. So if you know it's going to be a race in the area, at least $50. And if you think about it, the worst that can happen is somebody asks you to come down on the price, or you don't get booked, and we're never not going to get booked. So definitely make sure that you know when races are, when games are, when seminars are. And if you don't want to stay on top of that, that's what those the market research apps were for. They keep on top of all of that. Because for us, I know a lot of us in this group right now, we're brown. We might not know when the country singer from wherever is coming to town. So we just have to keep in mind that those market research apps keep track of stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. I was wondering about that.
Yes, when those things happen, go up, go all the way up. Because as we just saw, when we even just looked at the weekend for a regular Richmond area, that was $239. $239 a night. We should be more than that if we have a kitchen. I'm just saying, kitchen and amenities, especially where you are. For the deco, they have a state of the art gym. So that alone should be $250 on the weekends. Yes, great.
Okay, perfect. Oh, also, will you be going over the vending machines that you have?
Oh yes, you can definitely go for the vending machines. For everybody else that wasn't on the previous call, we were talking about how you could expand your profits by either adding snacks directly, but you can't really keep track of that. They can pick it up unless you took a picture before you added the snacks. Or you can just add a little vending machine inside of the unit where you'll be able to add your snacks, your travel size goods. I would recommend adding a toothbrush inside of the vending machine. Things like that, you can get that money back. And yeah, we'll go over that after I show you how the welcome book. Great questions.
So I know that you said that you charge $160 for the cleaning fee. Would that be the same price that you'll be charging for the current as well, or will you increase that price since typically you can fit another bed up there in the loft area?
So actually the $160, we'll go over that real quick. Let me open that inside the back end. That was a great question. Let me log into Airbnb and show you where I got that price over from. I already have an account, just let me sign in. That's why I can't.
And then also, do you allow pets in any of your units?
Okay, so we actually just had this. So for you, you'll be in the current. So you'll actually need to look up whatever the pet fee is. I think it's $300 for that unit. I know for Deco, we just did it. It was a $300 pet fee and a $30 a month pet rent fee. So what you would have to do is figure out how many times. That's a good question. It's really complicated when it comes to pets because, again, there is that big chunk of a fee. That's pretty much 2 nights if you're doing $150 a night. But you'll have to figure out. So what we had happen, those people had 4 months that they were staying and they had a dog. We had to break up that 4 months by that fee and then charge it for them. So we put it as free for pets until they asked about their pet. And then if they have a pet and you don't want to do that, you can actually charge them after they stay. But the only way on Airbnb to do it is to actually go in and do a per night fee. So what we ended up having to do for those 4 months was do $4 per night. And that equaled, we still had to come out of pocket a little bit. So she was like, I'd rather not do that. And she wants to get charged at the end. But if you do allow pets, you have to keep in mind that that's extra cleaning. They can mess up stuff.
Yes. And that's why I asked, because I mean, I went through a lot when I allowed a pet to come to my unit for 1 week. It was like hair everywhere and linens. And so I'm just curious to how you navigate any of your units with pet, because I literally had to wash the linens like 2 or 3 times, and we literally hand rolled it with a lint roller. So I don't know how to get away from that. Like, do you charge them for linens or what? I don't know. So I was just curious to see what you were doing with any of your units.
Yeah, we got away with not having pets for a long time. I literally just had this person ask about pets and we were like, what are we gonna do for that? But just keeping in mind that you can charge those people for that. And if you needed that jot form, we can get you a jot form where it asks them about pets, and we can figure out the breed, because the breed of that dog, whatever stayed there, had long hair, so it was shedding. But if it's something small like a Chihuahua, they're not going to shed as much. They're not going to even be as loud. So I wouldn't mind that type of animal being in there. But stuff like cats, long-haired dogs, they do shed a lot. But I know it's 2022, so people need their emotional support animals, and I'm not trying to get sued for not allowing people to stay either and being discriminatory. So
Yeah. Okay.
and I just had to change my password for turnover Airbnb, so it's loading. I'm sorry, y'all. My password is saved. Okay, great. So most of the time, once you get a good cleaner, you don't actually have to use turnover B&B. I know all of y'all that were on Rodriguez's call, she used turnover B&B to find her person, but she actually went offline and texted her and was like, got a way better rate. When you go into turnover B&B, they're not trying to show me because they keep trying to send it to verify my email, but I already did all this. You can find the actual, I think they tried to sign me up as a cleaner. That's what happened. Yeah, no, they tried to sign me up as a cleaner. Let's go out of here.
And what was turnover B&B again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
So turnover B&B, they actually can show you all the steps of the cleaning process. So you can have somebody come in and clean, and then you can make a checklist, and they'll be able to check off each part of the checklist where they're at in their job. So if you know that you have, for example, you have the current, you want the top of the loft and the bottom of the loft done. So you can do that. The kitchen, the bathroom, the top of the loft, the stairs, make sure that everything gets checked off. Pretty much all of the turnover B&B cleaners were around $160. So that's where we got that price from. But these people are asking for quotes. But most of these people, when you actually do go on the turnover B&B, keeping in mind that what I just did, I accidentally went in as a cleaner instead of as a host, which is what took so long. But you can figure out people whose sole job is to do Airbnb. You can read the reviews here, get a quote for them. Most of them in the area are 150 to 160. And this part is where that price would change. Keeping in mind that because it's a loft, most people quote it as 2 bedrooms, and it would be 2 bathrooms. You have to put the actual address. And for everybody that is on the line that is a part of the Deco Current Club, keep in mind that the Current is still being built. So I can't go how I just typed the Deco and the address just pop up on my phone. If you have an iPhone, it won't happen. So, and then you have to actually think about if you provide cleaning supplies, everything like that, tell them how many projects you would need. And I'm not ready to sign up this whole thing, but she's going to say that it's going to be 160 for her to clean this. So when you use turnover, yeah, just use their price. Once you talk to this person or whoever you end up using, put their price inside of that cleaning fee that goes right. Can you go into the booking settings? Additional charges, cleaning fee. So there's 160 It's supposed to be 160, not 150. And you can do a short-term stay cleaning fee. I don't think that makes sense to do a short-term stay cleaning fee because you would think maybe they would have to clean less, but not really. Just keep it consistent right there. And then we do the extra guest fee. If they have more, we'll give you one for free. But if you have more than 2 people, you got to pay $50 per guest. And then the pet fee, we're doing $50 on this unit. And this other unit is the one we had to do the $4 pet fee. And then we did it for free, and we got to charge this girl after she said that. So we cut it off so she could do that. So let's actually put that back. But at the end of your stay, if you have a dispute and let's say they did have a pet in there and they didn't tell you, like we tried to do 300, but when you do that, you can't do that because it has to be like the pet has to stay for less than the human. So you can max do like $100 a night for your pets. But just keep in mind whatever the property rules are. But when you come in here, your guest guidebook can be created. We created one virtually. Why does not everybody want me to sign in? Just keep me signed in, please. Okay, so this is the welcome book that we'll have. I've had some people tell me that they were gonna actually print out the book, but I know a lot of people are just printing out this first page, which opens this book. And you can actually add your business name inside of there and flip the pages. And we have just the house rules. We don't let people smoke in our unit. If they smoke in their unit, they will be charged. We let people know that if they lose their keys, they will be charged to turn off their electricity, stuff like that. It tells you a little bit about the deco in that unit, some kitchen rules, checkout rules, things to do in the area, restaurants, fun facts, and then they can do the little guest book thing. But this is what we use to welcome the guests. This is just an example one, because of course it doesn't have anybody's thing here. We still got some Latin down here. But it's a great idea to keep one of these. Okay, so I showed y'all the background check, the welcome book. Everybody in VIP should have this full checklist with everything that we went over today. If you're missing it, let me know. And then if y'all have any questions, I can answer them now.
I have a question about like mentorship and about like after the class ends tonight. Do you guys offer that?
Yes, so we offer the mentorship that was on this page. We offer quarterly mentorship, and the monthly one we'll just have to discuss at another time. But let me share this with you. We offered a discount for the membership. We normally do 1,500 per month, or we did a group quarterly for 4,000, and then we did $1,000 period just for everybody that took this class, so 1,000 per quarter. We have a monthly discount, and then we have a actual, if you just need a one-on-one, that's available too. But just because ours is very intensive and we get everything done for you or find somebody to do it for you, this is our price right here, and this is per quarter. So keep in mind, if you broke that up between 3 months, it wouldn't really be that bad. I've had mentorships that cost way more than that. So definitely. And then we also have to cover the vending machines, but we'll do that very last because I know some people told me they directly had to go at 8 o'clock. But yes, we do have our mentorship, and then we're documenting all of our processes for free on that. I'll drop our Instagram in there one more time. We're adding so much more up there for free, so that's always an option too. But if you give me your email, I can put you on our email list, and that will actually have our monthly mentorship on it also.
Okay,
Or if
thank
any,
you. I'll do that.
no problem. If anybody wants to be on our email list, the email list is where the games get dropped too, because we drop gyms and all the plays to run in the email list. So that's absolutely free as well. So I would recommend, if you want to, I can add you to our email list ASAP. But if you bought something either today or yesterday, you're on our email list.
Last question, securing the deals and like the corporate leasing, like, is that a part of the mentorship?
Oh yes, for sure. So if anybody that came from Rodrigo, we basically helped her. She already knew what she was doing. Trust and believe. She's in the real estate game, but we just introduced corporate leasing to a lot of people. We do a lot of cold callings to figure out who and what area do corporate leasing and what's required from them. So we basically teach you that, the scripts that we used. We also are looking into houses as well. We haven't actually bought one ourselves, but we've gotten other people to buy them. Yeah, things like that. Just being able to find other investors, the whole back end of what we do, we pretty much teach. And if we don't know, we have other people that do. You'll actually see, if you're on my Instagram, I'm posting a lot of people who I met at this last conference that I went to. And they're all in the Turo game, making thousands and killings and doing their Airbnb properties and mansions and stuff like that. So it'll be very cool and interesting to grow. You have the vending machines? All right. Can you send me the picture or the link? Yes. All right, I got the emails, and then drop any other emails for me to add to this email list that goes out for free. And then the mentorship gets dropped inside of the email list too. We don't have that price available for everybody, so we can't add that to the website, because trust me, it's people that have been, it's more people that look for us for the back end stuff, to be honest. When you set up your back end properly, your front end can run at any price that you need it to. And then when you get this email from us, it'll ask you if you want to be a part of our email list. Because it's actually illegal to email people without their permission, if you didn't know that. Okay, so you're given the guide. Do you have for the link for the people that just want to straight out buy the vending machine? Okay, we're doing good. We haven't hit 8 o'clock yet. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. One big thing that I also wanted to talk about is just knowing how to theme out your apartment. If you don't know how to theme it out, there's Pinterest. But one thing that we've been really good on is monochromatic. So if you have like blues, reds, pinks, purples, keeping everything consistent, another extra $50 can be added on for stuff like that. And if you want to set up a selfie wall, we can do that as well. I did a Louis Vuitton wall in one of the units. See if I can show y'all. Like the accent walls, stuff like that. I'm just screen share on here so y'all can see. If y'all have a Cricut, that Cricut teaching how to do the accent walls is a part of the mentorship as well. Because you can make a whole career out of making accent walls. I'll tell you that much. People will pay a pretty penny for those. And then you can see we started ours pre-pandemic and we stopped during the pandemic. But this is the little Louis Vuitton wall. This is my actual unit. So it was super cute. But just stuff like that gets you a whole lot. Did you send me the link? And this will all be recorded as well. So if you send me your email, you have the option to get that emailed to you. It was really only for the VIPs going to be recorded, but I'll send it to y'all since y'all stayed past the hour and a half that I had allotted for this class. Okay, period. Is this, can you send me the actual picture? I understand that.